Welcome back to Hermitcraft. Alright. Well, recently I've had a lot of people asking me questions. Most common question is something on the order of, how do you have so many diamonds? Well, the short answer is I am a branch mining fiend. I spend a lot of time mining. I use mining as a way to relax. And it's very peaceful, relaxing activity. And as a result, I end up with lots of goodies. Now, it just so happens that I am on my way out here specifically to start another branch mine. And I thought that it might be useful, to some folks at least, if I showed my whole branch mining strategy. And so, whilst I proceed this way, looking for a good likely spot to start such a creature, I will cut to this clip that explains just exactly what is the structure of the branch mine and what makes it so good for finding pretty much everything out there. So what is branch mining and why is it so great? Why is it so effective and why do I like it so much as opposed to other forms of mining? Well, first of all, what a branch mine is not. A branch mine is not a strip mine. I know a lot of people in Minecraft call it a strip mine, apparently because you're mining little strips of material out through the thing, and that's all fine and dandy, but that's not what it is. A strip mine is a surface mining operation in the real world where the surface layers are stripped away to get at the ore, usually something like coal or gypsum and whatnot, that are not too far below the surface. A branch mine is a Minecraft invention. Now, typically, I start mine. Now, a lot of people like to do the stair-step method of digging down. I don't. I follow the method that I learned from watching Co-Star way back in the day, in the early days of Co's Quest. You dig a 3x3 pit with a channel dug into one side of one of the walls. And that channel is where you put your ladder. A 3x3 pit takes you all the way down to the bottom of the world. Right here, where you see the top of the bedrock, that's Y5. If you hit your F3, now I'm not on Y5 this time, I'm on Y63 because this is a creative world just to show this. But when I dig something like this, I dig it all the way down to Y5. The very bottom of the world, as far as you can go without having to go around bedrock. And of course, there's my ladder going up. I like to have some glass with me or some sand to make glass and fill in the 3x3 with glass for the ceiling of each layer so that I have a place to get off the ladder at, so on. If I don't have glass, I'll just use cobble or whatever. I throw down a furnace, workbench, and an assortment of chests. The exact layout is going to depend on where the bedrock isn't, where the bedrock leaves room. For branch mining, I'm going to want as many torches as I can have. And in the process of digging this 3x3 from the surface down to bedrock, you're almost certainly going to find plenty of coal and some iron with which to make some iron tools. And if you don't have iron, you can start out with stone tools, and iron becomes a thing really, really soon. And what makes this system good is the method by which, the pattern you use. Now, I dig a 2 high by 3 wide main corridor. I know a lot of people think that's wasteful of space, but I don't care. It works for me. Down that main corridor, every 2 blocks, there's a torch. And that's mostly my obsession for having the pattern just so. So I dig my first branch, come down here, and then I go back. And the reason I go back instead of just going over and coming back the other way is because inevitably there are times when I miss something and coming back lets me catch it. So you go over 2 blocks, you dig the next branch. And then you go over 2 blocks and you dig the next one, and so on. And you do the exact same thing with the exact same spacing across the corridor. All right. But what about the blocks you miss? What about the blocks you can't see? Okay, let's see about the ones we can see. We can see the floor. We can see 2 on each side. And you can see the ceiling block. Well, there's the corner there and the corner there. Well, when you do the next block, the next level, you go over 1 block with the corridor. And the next level up, you go over a block with the corridor. And what that means is this block here, which this tunnel is not going to let you see, becomes the floor of the next branch. Bingo. And the same thing over here. And that means that there are very few blocks that you won't see in mining. Now, I know a lot of people these days like this newfangled poke hole mining method, or I guess it's relatively newfangled. I don't particularly care for it. And one of the reasons is I have in the past gone behind someone who has dug a poke hole mine, and I turned the area into a regular branch mine and found a good deal of resources that their poke holes missed, including dozens of diamonds. Yeah. In any event, this is the whole thing pretty much in a nutshell. I generally dig the bottom at Y5, and then up here the next level and the 3rd level. I might dig a 4th level, but generally speaking, I probably won't. And I will make my central corridor such that from the center of this 9x9, it goes 128 blocks that way and 128 blocks that way. Yeah. And about the only thing that's going to stop me going down any one of these branches is if I run into an area that is covered with lava. And even then, I can sometimes manage to go on anyway and get rid of the lava. And now, I'm going to cut back to Hermitcraft, where I am starting a new branch mine to show exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, here we are. I have set up a small structure here. It's 5x5 interior, that's a 7x7 outer wall. And what I'm going to do is just do my thing. Start out digging my 3x3. Now, for materials to start with, I have a few stacks of logs. I have a little over a stack of ladders, because let's see, I'm at Y63, so I don't even need a full stack of ladders. I'm digging a 3x3 with a notch out of one side. Shovel's a little bit powerful. Okay. And let's see, ladders. And in digging this 3x3 shaft, generally speaking, I'll find a fair amount of coal, some iron, and there's the coal right there. And I'm barely 10 levels down. And of course, I follow the golden Minecraft rule: never break the block you're standing on. In addition to having some logs and some torches, or if you don't have torches, you'll get them fairly soon. I can consider having a bucket of water to be essential. If you don't have iron to make water, to make a bucket, then it won't be long before you find some as you dig down. So here's what I've got starting out with. Also, having a bed is a good idea. Having some cobble is a good idea, but obviously by definition, as you dig this pit, you'll come up with lots of cobble or granite or diorite or andesite or dirt or gravel or whatever you want to use for blocks to fill stuff in with. In any event, I am going to dig my way down, and I will catch up with you when I get to the bottom or when I run into an obstacle. Okay, well, I've run into my first obstacle. There is a cave down here with unpleasantries about. I can hear a number of zombies just off the creeper. And yeah, nasty, unpleasant things. So, there we are. Okay, now for the sake of the branch mine, I am not going to go chasing after these goobers. I am not interested in fighting a bunch of mobs. I am interested only, oh crap, getting away from the skeleton and his buddy the creeper down there. Yeah. Okay, what I want to do is basically continue my 9x9 shape, or my 3x3. What am I saying, 9x9? And of course, ever since zombies got added this social thing where they basically phone home when they get attacked, killing one means you have to fight a whole mess of them if you're going to be in the area. Not exactly what I had in mind as a fun way to spend the afternoon. But it happens, and you deal as best you can. All right. Oh, I hate spiders. Have I ever mentioned that? Because it was an oversight if I didn't mention it. I really hate spiders. All right, let's... There, the shaft is sealed up. And it's lit up. Pop down another ladder. And I am now free to continue digging. Because I'm after the good stuff. The diamonds, the redstone, the coal, and the iron, and the gold, and so on. And these mobs up here are not going to get me that. Alright, Well, I've made it down here to Y5, and that's where I like to start my mines. Even if I do more of my mining higher up, say at level 10 or something or whatever, Y5 is where I start. So let's pop a torch there. And let's see, I need a crafting table. We'll pop that there. There's a good spot. Oh, get a chest put together. And start putting some of this stuff away. Along the way, digging down, I found 37 iron. Picked up one from one of those zombies, I guess. And let's see. I also brought some glass with me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use some of that. If I can manage to click right. Now, I know it sounds kind of claustrophobic to just to have the thing keep the place at a 2-block height. But you know something? While I am a claustrophobic type of person, I generally don't mind it in this situation. So, first step, dig out the central corridor, 3 blocks wide, 2 high. You can make it as long as you want. I'm going to start out with 10 blocks and expand it a little at a time as I have need of that. Some iron already. All right, and the torches, 2 blocks between. Now I know somebody's going to point out that's more than you need, but you know something? I'd rather have more lighting than I need than not enough. And it's a system that works for me. Now the very first branch I always put behind the ladder. Alright, let's see. Let's get this set up properly. 32 torches up there. Let's just put the rest of them in there. And also a good idea sometimes is, if you have the resources, set up a bed. Because should the worst happen, you've got a nice safe place to respawn. But in any event, from this outer block here, including the outer block, there's 5. We'll go back 5 spaces. So this time we'll go back 4. Go in here, drop a torch, 5 more. Another torch, 5 more. And the reason for 5 at a time, and that being the spacing for the torches, that's how far you can reach. Torch, let's get the coal. So there's some iron. Now one of the things that I have seen a lot of people do is that when they're mining, if they don't need coal, they don't bother mining it. If they don't need redstone, they don't bother mining it. You see, I mine this coal, and behind it there's redstone. And up there, what's behind the redstone? Okay, nothing this time, but I don't know how many times I have dug behind something I didn't figure I wanted or needed or even had a place to put, and ended up digging into diamond. And let's face it, it's all about the diamond, isn't it? Okay. And yes, I know it's also not necessary to fill in the holes, but I do. And somebody once asked me, well, who's going to know? I am. All right. And now we move on. And I do this for 32 torches, with a torch every 5th block, which is a total of 160 blocks. The exception being is if I run into enough lava sources flowing down from above that I can't deal with in this level, then I will stop the branch. And see, if I hadn't have bothered with that coal, look what I'd have missed. Yeah. And now, I'm going to continue here, and I'm going to mine out a good 10 branches, and then I'll check in. Or maybe I'll just, let's deal with the lava. The lava's flowing, put the water up against the far wall, turns into stone, break the stone, it turns into obsidian. Problem solved. Okay, there's another problem up there, and it looks like this is above the lava level. Okay, it's not. This is why you want to have blocks on the hotbar at all times. I generally keep the pickaxe in one, shovel in two, and blocks, generally cobblestone, in three. I keep water bucket on the far end because you want to be able to do something about lava quickly. The first thing is to back away from it. Back away from it, place a block in the way if you can, and then worry about doing something about it with your water bucket. Anyway, I am onward to finish out 10 branches. Alright, I just finished the first branch and I put the ladder back there. And it occurred to me there's something I didn't touch on. Okay, it's not going to go there. Alright, the next branch is going to go there, so stick here. That'll work. And that is water bucket. And now I'm going to head up to the surface and get another bucket of water and turn that into an infinite spring so that I've got a ready, handy source of water. Because every once in a while you do something crazy or goofy or misaimed or whatever and you manage to dump your water bucket. And that's not good. So you need a place to refill it at. First one in the far corner, second one here in this corner. Now I'm good there. Glass. Alright. Now, there. Now I can come up here and not worry about falling back down. And during the daytime, I've got sunlight all the way down at the bottom. Which, if you're doing this in an early world, before you have the chance to make a clock, it gives you an idea of when it's daytime. And now let's see. Alright, that looks like a decent spot. We'll go ahead and throw a couple of more chests there. And here. So on. And then I can come over here. Say, for example, all of my cobblestone goes up there, except what I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep a couple of stacks, three stacks of it on me. Over here, see, I've got some dirt, and I'm going to set here one more granite and andesite in there. And I'll fill that out as I get more. And this can be dirt, gravel, flint, and diorite or something like that. And I'll probably end up having several of them for cobblestone. And maybe sorting some other things out as well. Now, let's see. I need another 32 torches. Not there. There. Unload the stuff that I don't need with me when mining. And now right across from the first branch, dig the second one. Okay. In any branch mine, sooner or later you reach a point where you've got this going on. You break through there and the lava comes pouring. Now, one thing you can do is that as you see it pouring out of the ceiling, you dig the block directly underneath of it. It will fall into that block instead of spreading out. It'll fall into that hole. It won't spread out and give you a chance to deal with it. Now, one way you can deal with it is you can try to right-click some stone in place until you cover up the block that it comes from. Now, knowing that that's there, you know it might be in the next block over, so dig out the bottom. And there it is. Put this one in. Lava goes down there. You don't get burned up. And you try the same thing again. Right-click. And sometimes you'll have to do it on the other side. Sometimes it won't work because you're too far away. Now, there's bedrock, so I can't dig that out. Dig here. Yeah. It's falling. It's going to come over here because it can't get rid of the bedrock. Can I right-click here and block that off? Apparently I can. All right. There's been plenty of times when I couldn't. All right. Let's see. I've gone a little ways. There. Now let's see. I'm going to dig the bottom first. More bedrock. Dig that way. More bedrock. All right. There's a place I hope for the lava to go if it comes down. Break this one. Yep. Try to click. Yes, it's going that way. All right. Right click. Not working on that side. Not working behind it. Not working on this side. That means this tunnel is done because I cannot go any farther. Now, if I was feeling adventurous and had some fire resist potions, I would quaff one and go swimming in the lava and try to block it from the top. However, that's not the case. And that means that this lava will be dealt with when I'm working on the next level. And maybe I will be at or above the lava level and be able to deal with it from above, which is a whole lot easier than dealing with it below. And so, come back here, drop stuff off. I'll sort what goes where later. Start with another 32 torches because I am a little bit OCD about that. It needs to be 32 torches per branch. And because the last one right next to this started out or ended up with lava, I have to assume that this one probably will as well. But it's still worth digging. All right, I have just finished up mining a total of 16 branches. Some of them didn't go as far as others, but generally speaking, most of them went a pretty good long distance. Yeah, in any event, after mining out 16 branches, and yes, I was only going to go 10, but I got in the zone a little bit and just had to keep going. A little bit of dirt, a couple of stacks of diorite, some gravel, a few flint. Better with the andesite, more of the granite. and of course lots of cobblestone. The best cobble generator I know of is a functioning branch mine. You can't help but to come up with tons of cobble. And of course in here the main goodies, some obsidian, a couple of stacks of coal blocks, a little over 3 stacks of redstone block, a bit of lapis, a little over 4 stacks of iron ore, about a half a stack of gold, 10 blocks of diamond, plus 7 diamonds, which is a total of 97 diamonds. Now, I'll grant you, yes, I'm using Fortune 3 and so on, but trust me, if I got it, I'm gonna. And granted, if you're first starting out with a brand new branch mine in a brand new world, you may not get that high a number because you're not using Fortune yet. Generally speaking, I start out with stone coming down the shaft, switch to iron partway down, and then I'm using a combination of stone and iron tools until I get the first few diamonds and so on. In any event, there you go. Branch mining for fun and profit. Definitely a good profit, and I find very relaxing, very, I don't know, zen I guess is a good word for it, maybe, but then again, I don't know from zen, so I could have it totally wrong. In any event, that's it right there. Branch mining for fun and profit. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.